Geoffrey Howe, born on December 20, 1926, in Port Slade, East Sussex, was a British politician who served as a prominent member of the Conservative Party. He is best remembered for his long and influential career, culminating in his tenure as the Chancellor of the Exchequer and later as Foreign Secretary. Howe's political journey spanned several decades and included major shifts in Britain's economic and foreign policies. His role in British politics, particularly during the premierships of Margaret Thatcher and John Major, earned him a lasting place in the annals of 20th-century British political history. Early life and education. Geoffrey Howe was the son of a schoolmaster and grew up in Sussex. He attended Lancing College, a prestigious private school, where he developed an interest in history and politics. After finishing his education there, Howe went on to study at St. John's College, Oxford, where he read philosophy, politics, and economics, PPE, the traditional degree for many British politicians. He was active in university life and was known for his debating skills, which would later serve him well in Parliament. After completing his studies, Howe went into law. He became a barrister and joined the chambers of a well-known barrister, where he worked on various cases. However, politics soon called, and in 1964, he was selected as the Conservative candidate for the safe Labour seat of Bebington in Cheshire. Although he did not win in 1964, Howe continued to build his political reputation. Rise in politics. Howe's career in politics took off in 1966 when he was elected as the Member of Parliament, MP, for Bebington. From the outset, Howe was seen as a dedicated and capable politician with a sharp intellect. He quickly became involved in the Conservative Party's policy discussions, particularly focusing on economic issues. Howe was a key player in the Conservative Party's modernising efforts during the 1970s. His initial political roles were in the Treasury, and he made a name for himself as an advocate for a free market approach to economic policy. He was a strong proponent of reducing state intervention in the economy, privatizing industries, and curbing inflation, which became central tenets of the Conservative Party during the 1980s. Cabinet positions under Margaret Thatcher. In 1979, Margaret Thatcher became the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, and Howe was appointed as her Chancellor of the Exchequer. This position placed him at the centre of Britain's economic policy-making during a challenging time. The country was facing high inflation, rising unemployment, and industrial decline, making Howe's role a crucial one. As Chancellor, Howe played a major role in the economic transformation of Britain. He implemented policies aimed at reducing inflation through tight monetary control, and his economic approach leaned heavily towards monetarism, a theory championed by Thatcher's government. Howe also made significant contributions to tax reform and privatization initiatives, which aligned with the broader goals of the Thatcher administration. Howe's policies, particularly those concerning public spending cuts and taxation, proved controversial. They led to significant protests, including mass strikes and social unrest, but Howe remained resolute in his approach. In 1981, Howe famously presented the budget that introduced a tax-cutting program, which earned him praise among Thatcher's supporters but criticism from opponents who believed it exacerbated inequality and social division. Despite the friction caused by his economic policies, Howe was seen as an essential figure within Thatcher's cabinet. He maintained his position as Chancellor until 1983, when he was moved to the position of Foreign Secretary, a role he would occupy until 1989. Foreign Secretary and the European question. As Foreign Secretary, Howe's work was primarily defined by his involvement in international diplomacy, European integration, and the ongoing challenges of managing Britain's relationship with the European Economic Community, EEC, which would later become the European Union. Howe was a staunch advocate of Britain's membership in the EEC and was instrumental in advancing Britain's relationship with Europe during the 1980s. He played a key role in the negotiation of the Single European Act of 1986, which sought to establish a single European market and reform EEC institutions. Howe's strong support for European integration, however, put him at odds with certain factions of the Conservative Party, including Eurosceptics who believed that Britain should distance itself from Europe. One of the most notable events during Howe's time as Foreign Secretary was his role in the response to the invasion of the Falkland Islands by Argentina in 1982. Howe, along with Thatcher, played a pivotal role in formulating Britain's diplomatic and military response. The successful recovery of the islands in the Falklands War cemented Howe's reputation as a key figure in British foreign policy during a crucial period. Resignation in later years. Despite his successes, Howe's relationship with Margaret Thatcher began to deteriorate in the late 1980s. By 1989, tensions between the two had reached a breaking point, particularly over their differing views on Europe. Howe was increasingly critical of Thatcher's European policies, which he felt were isolating Britain from its European allies. In November 1990, Howe resigned from the cabinet, a move that would have significant consequences for Thatcher's leadership. His resignation speech in the House of Commons, in which he criticised Thatcher's leadership and called for a new direction for the Conservative Party, was seen as a key moment in her eventual downfall. His comments, especially the phrase "It's not just that we have lost our way, we've lost our self-respect," were widely interpreted as a direct attack on Thatcher and her policies. Following his resignation, Howe remained active in politics but never returned to frontline government positions. He continued to serve as an MP for a few more years before retiring from active politics in 1992. Personal life and legacy. Geoffrey Howe's personal life was marked by his marriage to Elspeth, with whom he had 3 children. His family life was largely private, and he was known for his calm demeanor and intellectual approach to politics. Howe's legacy is complicated. He was a man of principle, dedicated to his vision of Britain's role in the world and its economic direction. While he faced criticism for some of his policies, particularly his monetarist approach, his role in shaping the economic and foreign policy of Thatcher's government cannot be overstated. His resignation in 1990, while a turning point in British politics, also demonstrated his courage in standing by his beliefs. Geoffrey Howe passed away on October 9, 2015, but his contributions to British political life remain significant.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe our channel.